And welcome back to another episode of Big Apple Hockey. I am your host for tonight, John Fulkowski, and it has been a long time since we've done one of these. But after tonight's game, it's that time again. So let's hit the video and just go right into it. If I could find the video, that'd be great. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so it's that time again. You know it, the good, the bad, and there's a lot of ugly in this game. And as usual, I know, guys, I'm depressed too. I see you in there, Brennan and Michael. Just terrible. Just wish we could have gotten a win out of that game, and that game was so winnable in so many different ways. Sean, I'd be doing a lot better if I was drinking one of these for a win, but I'm not. So we're here. We're all here to be miserable tonight. It's like a support group, you know. But I guess I'll start with the good. I thought this was a decent first period back from the pause. Yeah, big blue shirts. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's really the way to look at it. But yeah, I thought it was a decent first period back from the pause, and yeah, I need that too, David. We'll talk about that in a little bit because that's one of the things that I'm definitely going to go over. But you're right, Michael. Terrible turnovers. All just throughout the majority of the game, the turnovers were just bad. But I thought that the first period was decent. They started a little slow, and then as the period went along, they got better. They got their feet under them. I am not excited to play Tampa either. We'll talk more about that after we get through the points. But good to see you too, Jack. Good to see everybody. Dylan, Lou, Brennan, David, Michael, Sean, Crispy. I mean, we're just, yeah. I get if they could have played like they played, like I would say the second half of the first period all game, they probably would have won that game, but it just wasn't there. I thought they played well in the second, but we'll talk more about that in a second as well. But a little bit of a flat start, and then they played well the rest of the first period. They got the goal for Panarin. So speaking of which, multi-point games for him and Mika Zibanejad. To see Mika Zibanejad have another multi-point game after going into the pause, I'm pretty sure that I know, at least in my mind, and I'm pretty sure in most Ranger fans' minds, the big concern was going to be, we just got Mika Zibanejad going right before the pause. Now there's a pause. What's going to happen to him when he comes back? And he played well tonight. He really did. Kakko, you need more from him. And Chris Kreider was just, I wouldn't say he was really bad. I wouldn't say he was good. But, yeah. Kakko's got to be better. He has to be better than what he's been. He has not been good enough. I know he had the good game against Arizona, but again, a bad team. He's got to be better. We need more. I'm with you on this, Dylan. We'll talk about that in a little bit, though. But yeah, the big guys showed up. The two big guns really showed up. Igor, another story. We'll talk about him in a bit. But the two big guns really showed up. Adam Fox played as well as he could, carrying around a corpse of Libor Hajek, because Libor Hajek can't play to save his life. We're going to talk more about that in a bit too. But moving on, they played well at points in the second. I thought the second period was actually a good period from them. There were some times where they didn't play well in that second. There were a couple of points where Florida, kind of took the game there from them for a bit. But overall, I thought the second period was good. I don't really think you could ask for much more, especially considering it was really after Florida scored the game-tying goal that the Rangers really started to take that period back. The shift right after was immediately a good shift. I believe it was the fourth line that had the shift. Yeah, and Lou, you're right. Fox was awesome. I didn't put him in my good because this was kind of like a typical Adam Fox game, though. So, and Jack, I'm with you there. All things considered, in the second period, I thought they were pretty good overall as well. So, but unfortunately, we got to get into the bad and the ugly. But there's no bad. There's just ugly tonight. And the third period was the worst period I think I've seen all year from them. They didn't show up. They were RIP to the good, and now or the bad rather, I should say, because there is no bad. But the third period was ugly. The third period, if it was a human being, it would have a face only a mother could love. That's how ugly that period was. And the turnovers were bad. They were, and Dylan was saying it before with this comment. We were forcing too many passes in the third, kept losing board battles. You're right about that, Dylan. Completely right. I would agree with this, Lou. We'll talk about that in a bit. I'll make sure that I mark that in my mind because I want to come back to it. Top two lines produced. Third line didn't do anything at all. Michael, I'm with you. I thought they had some good shifts here and there, the third line. But again, no production, no finish. You need finish. And that line is not finishing. It's got to be changed up at some point. I thought Chytil played well, but the other two guys on the line just did not give enough. And that's strange coming from someone who's been a fan of what Julien Gauthier has been doing this season. So I need more from Lafreniere. It just seems like he's not getting Gallant's message, and that's frustrating me. Because you figure with him being demoted, he would wake up, and he hasn't woken up. He just hasn't. Not really flash, but just not enough finish, man. Not enough finish. I feel like they're giving up on 50-50 pucks, which I can't say. Yeah, you know what, Jack? I kind of agree with that. I didn't notice it really until you're saying it, but yeah, they missed out on a lot of 50-50 battles that they were winning earlier on in the year. And David, I agree with this. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I mean, to elaborate on Lou's point about the kid line, you're right about that. Something's got to change. They need a top six winger, and Hunt can't be in the top six anymore. He has not played well there in a long time. So, Igor was off tonight. I know it's unpopular to blame the goaltender, and I know that he hasn't played in a long time. I get it. The team hasn't played in a long time. Igor was off, and he's allowed to have a bad game, but we're also allowed to call him out when he has a bad game. He had a bad game. Listen, not everybody's going to have the best game every night. And I'm sorry, but his rebound control was awful. The first goal was because of his rebound control. You cannot let up rebounds like that and kick them right back into the slot like that. That's not Igor. He was off. He was simply off. And Duclair, he probably gets that shot when he's on, but he was not on. He was definitely rattled after that second goal because the third goal from Verhaeghe was awful. Probably the worst goal I think I'd ever seen Igor let up. That was terrible. Terrible. So that's got to change. I know he'll get back. Hopefully, if he's playing Friday night, I mean, hopefully he keeps them in it. But again, Tampa's a buzzsaw right now. They are playing well, so it's going to be interesting to watch Friday night. But he's got to be better than he was tonight. So I think I could see this. Let Hunt move Hunt to the third line. Let Gaudreau center that line and let Chytil play wing on the second. Yeah, the only problem is you need Rooney back to do that, Michael. Otherwise, you got to have Morgan Barron playing there, and they don't seem to want to do that. They don't want to put Morgan Barron in. Yeah, And in the fourth line role, I'm sorry. My thoughts are, I'm reading comments and just losing myself there. But they don't want to seem to put Morgan Barron in the fourth line role and let him play like 12 minutes. They'd rather have him playing close to 20 in Hartford, which I get it. I understand. But at what point are you really going to see what this kid has? So they've got to do it at some point. Yeah, and I know I see the comments about Lafreniere not progressing. I totally agree. He hasn't. And it's frustrating to watch because Gallant has gotten on him multiple times and he has not responded. Michael, I disagree about McKegg being good enough to play center on the fourth line. I just think he's literally the most vanilla player you could ever find. He's really AHL depth. I would want Rooney back before doing that. So that's just me, though. The next point, cut Hayek now. Stop holding on to the Ryan McDonough trade and stop hoping that a piece from that trade comes out other than Nils Lundqvist, because Libor Hayek is the reason why they alienated Vitaly Kravtsov. Just remember that. Libor Hayek, because they didn't want to lose him to waivers, is the reason why they alienated Vitaly Kravtsov. So every time everyone complains about Libor Hayek being dead, if you're the people that are saying that Kravtsov is whining and entitled, just remember that's the reason why Kravtsov has been alienated. And also, you got to remember that you have Zach Jones on the taxi squad. He was there. You didn't play Zach Jones because you wanted to play Libor Hayek? Really going to question that decision. Really going to question that decision because he's awful. Hayek was actually responsible for 2 of the goals against, directly responsible. So I don't get it. I would have put Keandre Miller with Adam Fox. I would have put Zach Jones with Jacob Trouba and let Nemeth and Nils Lundqvist play together. So Libor Hayek's got to go. He's awful. He's awful. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any statistic says, analytic, whatever. He's awful. He is not NHL caliber, and it shows. So he's got to go. It's time for this organization to admit they made a mistake there. And yeah, Dryden Hunt was awful. So on the game-tying goal, if anybody saw it, right when the puck was near the far side boards at the blue line, Dryden Hunt went for a hit instead of playing the puck. And that led to the extra possession time and the puck being kept alive. That led to the game-tying goal. So yeah, Dryden Hunt, on top of not having his legs, on top of not being in the right spots where he should be defensively, on top of not being the board battle monster that he was earlier on in the year, just did not play well at all. He did not play well at all. This experiment with him on the second line's got to end. It's got to end, whether it's by trade, whether Chytil gets put there, whether somebody else plays there. He's got to be moved out. He's not a top 6 forward. He never was, and he had a nice little stretch where he filled in. So you know what? Move on from him there. Time to get rid of him there. He can't play on the second line anymore. It's enough is enough. They're not going to win with him because he isn't helping that line right now. Could he help the third line or the fourth line? Sure. I mean, yeah, and again, awful play on the fourth goal. David, you're right. You cannot, and I mean you cannot be sitting around watching. And that's what he was caught doing. He was caught puck watching. So, you know what? It doesn't make any sense. He's got to be sent down a line. I want to see Gallant hold him accountable for his bad play. You know what? You hold Lafreniere accountable for his bad play. You hold Chytil accountable for his bad play. Now hold Dryden Hunt accountable for his. Time to do it. Time to put up or shut up, Gallant. You're going to be like Quinn, or you're going to be different. So that's what I want to see now from Gallant. And my last point kind of goes without saying, but Nemeth sucks. Nemeth just sucks. He can't play. He's got to be replaced by somebody. They've got to go make a trade to get a better defenseman, whether it's Sherratt, whether it's somebody else. I don't know, but he's got to get out of the lineup. He's bad. He is awful, and he's holding Nils Lundkvist down. And Nils Lundkvist made a couple of mistakes, but actually had an overall pretty good game. And that's impressive to me, considering that they're playing against Florida in Florida. So good for Nils. But Nemeth is an anchor. He's an anchor. He's just awful. Dylan, you got to realize what you're saying here, buddy. If Nemeth is horrible, he's not going to really have any value. And he's not going to really help out Georgiev in any trade. The only reason why Nemeth would be moved, if they move him at the deadline, would be to get rid of salary. He doesn't have value. There's no team that's going to value him at $2.5 million to be an absolute dumpster fire that he is. But he's got to get cut. He's got to get cut. That's really it. Whether you save $1 million and change by dumping him in the minors, or if you actually get a team stupid enough to trade him. Yeah. You're right about that, Brody. Losing Blay and obviously Buchnevich, just, yeah. But Blay is probably a better option than Hunt, but you know what, David, you're right. He probably wouldn't have been the answer either, but he would be a better option. Jack, you're right about this, and that's tying into the last point, is that, Nils has the moments where he's really good and he shows you flashes. And you know what? If he had someone who can make him feel a little more comfortable on the other side of him, then I think he would play even better. And I think, yeah, I get this part, Jack. Was never going to happen, both right side defensemen, but he just can't play anymore, Nemeth. He's holding down one of our top prospects. He's just bad overall. He's a puck whacker. I've said that several times. He can't complete basic passes. It's terrible. There were multiple times where he had chances to get the puck out of the zone, couldn't even do it, and it ended up leading to sustained time in the zone against. So something's got to change with Nemeth. He's got to, and I'm with you, Michael. Give Jones a shot. What does this team have to lose at this point? Really? You put him on the taxi squad. Play him. Play him. Jones is up, Dylan. He's on the taxi squad. They just didn't play him for whatever reason tonight. So, yeah, and it is a horrible situation since Nemeth is supposed to, quote-unquote, help him, but he doesn't help because he's not good, because he's horrible, because he can't skate, he can't move the puck. It's just, yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, Jack. Why bring him on the taxi squad if you weren't going to use him? There was no point. You could have him in Hartford practicing with the team. So, yeah, overall, ugly third period, ugly start to the game. There were times in the second where there wasn't good as well, but they need to be better. I get it. It's Florida in Florida, and they only lost by a goal, but just some ugly, ugly play. And the big thing that prevails here is the fact that they, again, lose to a good team, a playoff team. So the record gets even worse against playoff teams. And the question still remains, can they consistently beat good playoff teams? That's great that you can beat Arizona. It's great that you can beat Buffalo. It's great that you could beat Jersey. It's great that you could beat the COVID Islanders. But you're not going to play those teams in the playoffs. So if I'm this team, I would look to make a move and make a trade sooner than later, because they need scoring. They absolutely need scoring. Lou posted the record against playoff teams here, 3-8-2. Sean, yeah, the Penguins are only 3 points back now, and Washington, I believe, won again tonight. So that's another thing you have to look at. So, yeah, Washington won again, so now they're 3 points ahead. The Rangers have a game in hand, but they're 1 point behind Carolina, and Carolina has 2 games in hand. So, yeah, Capitals won 5-3. You know what? It's not what you want to see. It's not what you want to see. So it's just, yeah, you're right, Chris. The Rangers are a second tier team that's still building. Yeah. Maybe Dallas falls out of the race and Joe Pavelski becomes available. Who knows? But they have to do better. They have to do better than this. And the game was winnable. Igor just wasn't himself. No Ryan Lindgren, so you have Libor Hayek playing 20 minutes in a game. Let's see how many minutes Libor Hayek played in that game. I don't know if they have the box score on here. Game Center, box. TOI Rangers. Oh, yeah, they do. Okay, so Libor Hayek played total of Libor Hayek played 18 minutes. Yeah, you can't have Libor Hayek playing 18 minutes. You can't have Libor Hayek playing more than 10 minutes. It's bad. But Jack, yeah, I kind of agree with you here. They need secondary scoring, and the big guys can help. The big guys scoring helps, you know. So, yeah, Strome made a couple of bad plays on the power play. That first power play, he made a bad pass in the middle to end it. I don't know what he was doing there, trying to force a cross seam pass through the middle like that. But yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, David, I hope you're right about Barron getting the big minutes here if Rooney's gone next year, because they need to start playing him, and it's annoying. And another one from you, David, that I was looking at before, Lafreniere hasn't progressed all season. It's annoying. It really is to see Lafreniere challenged multiple times this season and not respond. The fact that he's not there yet is not as concerning as the fact that he hasn't responded one bit. It's just the same up and down play. It's just the same play where he just looks disengaged, where he's not in it at times. And it's frustrating. It really is. Because when is he going to get it? When is he going to get it? He's been challenged twice already this season, and he hasn't gotten it. And that to me is a big, big problem. I know that it's not a problem and he's not like developed yet into a big time scorer, but yeah. So Sean, every night they're good in one aspect. They need to get it together and play a full hard 60. Is that too much to ask? Apparently it is too much to ask. Yeah, Jack, you know what? You may be right about that, but at the same time, he's had chances and he hasn't produced with Mika. So, you know what? He needs to be better. He simply needs to be better. I know that he played on his off wing with Kreider and Mika, and he didn't look great there, but he needs to be better. Gallant was right for demoting him. I'm usually very supportive of Lafreniere, but he hasn't given me a reason to be supportive this year. Last year, different story. This year, nope. Not enough. It's not enough. Yeah, I agree with you. The skating is not good. I said he needed to improve on it, and he hasn't improved on it. The skating and his strength were two things he needed to improve on, Grant, and he hasn't. And David, yeah, I'm with you here. He just looks like he's just there. He's not engaged. He doesn't show you anything there. I don't know if Kreider would go to right wing, but I would try it. Hello, mean girl. We could be better if this team would have won. So, but nope, they decided to not show up in the third period and they lost. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems that I have with Lafreniere's game. I saw David post this like right at the start of the stream. I need Kaapo back with 10 and 16. Yeah, he played well there. He really did. I think those two really help him. So, DP, yeah, Shesty wasn't good tonight. Not his best game. I think Miller could help. He's a better skater, so maybe he could get into lanes and block the lanes with his stick. He's not the shot blocker that Nemeth is, but a big part of Nemeth's problem is that being a shot blocker, sometimes he just screens the damn goaltender. Kreider hasn't done well. Yeah, you're right about that, David. So I don't think that would happen either. Chris, I don't see that happening, but yeah, I would. Lundell was my guy if they didn't win the lottery in that draft. I think that they needed a center. I called for Svechkov in 2021, but they went with Othman. The problem is that this team just I wanted Hendricks Lapierre, and they took Schneider. So I don't understand it one bit. All the kids seem to take one step forward and then two steps back. Kakko looks like he will break out. Miller looks good, and then they go back. Yeah, it's frustrating. It really is. To me, Kakko has improved his speed to a point and his strength to a point, but there needs to be another level to it. He needs to improve on it even more. And Lafreniere looks like he didn't do anything in the offseason. I don't see a player that's bigger. I don't see a player that's faster. What was he doing? Was he actually training? Because he just looks like the same kid. So, I mean, I know Kakko did it in the span of 3 months. There was a noticeable difference in speed. Caulfield is not in the AHL anymore, DP. It's not going to happen. I don't think. I think Montreal is going to hold on to him. I would love a Kravtsov-Caulfield trade, but they're not going to do that. Three favorite Rangers of all time. It's going to be Gretzky, Messi, and Leach for me. Easy. But I loved Pat Verbeek as a Ranger. I like Jaromir Jagr as a Ranger. Brendan Shanahan reminded me of some good times. There are some others that I really liked. James Patrick. Mike Gartner is probably a top 5 Ranger for me. Tony Amonte was one of my early favorites. Left eating poutine in quarantine. Yeah, probably. I don't know what he was doing, but he just there's nothing for me from Alexis Lafreniere that shows him that he's made improvements or strides or anything physically or skills wise. I don't get it. If it's a confidence thing, the confidence probably stems from the fact that he knows he's not fast enough or strong enough, and he's got to work on that. And you know what? They talk. I know that it's a cliche, but you do have to learn how to be a professional. And they talk about it. It's important. But I don't think Lafreniere has learned that yet. I think that's the big thing here when you talk about his play. He's got to be better, though. This team, in order for them to take the next step, is going to need Lafreniere to be much better than what he is. Kakko, too. Kakko did not have a good game tonight. And Julien Gauthier was kind of invisible for the most part, you ask me. I noticed him maybe a couple of times, but Chytil was really the only one moving his legs on that line. That's sad, because that line generates chances, but they don't finish. But Chytil was really the one moving his feet. Yeah, the Deliverance, good track for me when I work out, as you already saw. So, that's my workout playlist right there. I usually go about 6-7 days a week. I actually didn't go today. I wanted to go a little earlier on, but I went and I played some hockey, so that was my cardio for the day. So, they need to be better. This team just it pisses me off because you have a chance to make a statement against a team like Florida, and all their guys came back. Grant, yeah, you know what? You're right. he seems to be getting better defensively, but he'd have less responsibility on the wing defensively. So I'm not really worried too much about that per se. So I think that his offensive game could actually possibly flourish at wing because he's not going to have to be the play driver on a line. I just don't think he's good enough to be a play driver on a line. The main guy, I should say. I left the room for a few moments and came back to this meltdown. Yikes. Yeah, Kurt. Tell me about it. The way things are going, Sean Day scores against us on Friday. Wouldn't be shocked. We already had Duclair score against us, so. DP, yeah, Brandon Dubinsky would be a welcome addition on this team. He really would be. That's the type of guy. Like I said, I agree. They were both very blah tonight, David. But yeah, and definitely good to see again, like Brody said, Kurt. So getting ice outside this weekend, I could practice 4 hours every day. I'm pumped. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I hate when it gets really, really cold. So unfortunately, the ponds don't freeze up very well on Long Island unless there's like a week plus straight of like weather in like the teens, and the ponds aren't really well. And I got to get new ice skates. So, but yeah, I usually play outdoor roller on the weekends, and it's been pretty good, but no ponds around here really freeze up, and the ones that do, I just don't trust them all that well. I'd rather go play at a puck shoot or an open session somewhere if I'm playing ice. So yeah, this has just been an awful night for the Rangers. I hope you all are not as miserable as I am. Oh, Rinks, 10 a.m. Sunday morning. There you go. There you go, Michael. You have farm fields that freeze. Oh, that's pretty cool. Where do you live? DP, me just eating grilled chicken and mixed vegetables, and that's it for lunch and dinner. And then my breakfast is usually either a bowl of oatmeal or or cereal, and then a banana and a protein bar. And then a lot of gym 6-7 days a week, sometimes 2 a days, and a lot of cardio. I do the elliptical at the gym, and I put the elliptical up on high resistance, and I go for about a half hour. The machine goes up to like a level 25. I'm at like a level 20. I'm trying to get to level 21. Level 21 is really, really hard on the legs. So I don't know if I want to put that much strain, especially considering that if I put that much strain and then I go to try to do legs at some point in the week, it's not going to help the leg workout. So I'd rather save my legs for that. But then again, I mean, level 20 is hard. And I got myself up to level 20 after thinking I couldn't go any higher than 18. And then I did 19, and then I got to 20. So, but yeah, just a lot of grilled chicken and mixed vegetables. I've dropped probably about like 2 or 3 pant sizes. I think I need a belt for all my pants. So, feels like lack of possession comes down to playing Hayek and Nemeth. Best case scenario, if they have the puck in our zone, seems to be if they can dump it in successfully. Yeah, Grant, I think you're right. I think you're bang on with this, really, because because they can't really make those passes that like a Fox or a Lindgren or a Miller or Trouba can seem to make. And they just don't have the wherewithal to be able to make those plays. They're not NHL level defenders. So in order for them to be able to really be effective, they have to dump the puck in, and the puck has to be retrieved. And that's where puck support comes into play. And it seems like there's been a lack of it at certain times with this team. So we don't have really any outdoor ice hockey rinks. There's one in Greenport. There's one in Massapequa and Margaret Post Park. But again, those are private. Those are not public use. I mean, there are open skates at those, as far as I know, but it's not open to the public just to get on ice and skate there. There is nothing more refreshing than falling into a pond in the middle of winter. Yep. Not happening for me. Coaching, yeah. So, yeah. We've seen much worse. I don't know if I want to see worse. Ontario, Canada, yeah. I could see that. David, I thought someone late 90, early 2000 full Ranger games on YouTube. It's ugly. Yeah, it is ugly. All right, Davey. Good to see you back for the second time today. As for your question here, probably because he's Swedish and because of Nils Lundqvist. So, but stupid signing. Grant, have a good night. Yeah, prospect chat tomorrow, everybody. 2 p.m. Eastern time. Join us. We are going to be talking about Rangers prospects. It's going to be me, Mark, and Stat Boy Steven will be on with us live. So we're going to be talking all the Rangers prospects. We'll talk a little bit of World Juniors. So definitely join us. I'll put that up. I will make a ticker here for it. So us tomorrow. Boy Steven. 2 p.m. Eastern. EST. There we go. Scroll across the bottom. Add banner. Ticker. There we go. So everybody who sees that, yes. Yes, so we're going to be going over everything. We'll be going over Hartford. We'll be going over the college prospects, the ones in juniors, Brennan Hoffman, Will Cooley, who made World Juniors team for Canada, Dylan Garand as well. But yeah, Brody, love to have you. Everybody else that's available, definitely come on and join us. It'll be a good talk about prospects. Mean Girl wanted to see this. I usually use an 85 or a 95 flex. And yes, Hartford won tonight. And you could have had Zach Jones playing there had you not sat him on the taxi squad for Libor friggin' Hayek, who helped cost you this game. Why is it that this team has the galaxy brain everything they do? Why? Can anyone answer that for me? Anyone? Bueller. Or in this case, Drury. I don't get it. I don't. You have a talented young prospect who could come up and help you move the puck. And he could play with Jacob Trouba. You could put him with a veteran. You don't have to put him with Adam Fox. I just don't understand it. Oh, my God. I don't get it. I really don't. Thank you, Kurt. I appreciate it. I went from about 235, 240 to about, I think the last time I weighed myself the other day was 183, but that was later on at night. It's actually, what was it? Tonight's Wednesday, right? Yeah. So I weighed myself last night at the gym. So yeah, I was 183 last night. But it's a lot of work. It really is discipline. It's got to be a lifestyle. And yes, Kurt, 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. The little ticker, as you can see, going across the bottom here. Join us tomorrow for New York Rangers Prospect Talk with Statboy Steven at 2 p.m. EST. So definitely join us for that. David, you're right. Will Cooley looks like he might be a steal. If he turns out to be a good middle six power forward, then yeah. And hopefully he can make Ranger fans regret the wasted Leah's pick. Marty Natris, Nick Suzuki could have had them. So, David, that was one of the first things I actually gave up a long time ago, soda. I haven't drank soda on a regular basis. I've had like maybe some here or there, like a can of Pepsi, like in a rare situation. I think I can count the number of cans of Pepsi I've had on one hand in like the last, I would say, 7 years. I just don't drink soda anymore. And usually if I'm drinking soda, it's a Jack and Coke, if anything. So, but I don't even drink Jack and Coke that often. It's not conducive for me. Dylan, about as ready as I'll ever be. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not like overly excited. So, but I will watch. I will absolutely watch it. David Hartford is winning mostly in the sticks of the vets. Morgan Barron's been really good. Zach Jones has been really good. Adam Husk has put up some good numbers for them in Hartford. So I wouldn't say mostly, but yeah, the vets are definitely contributing. Nothing tastes good when my problem is nothing tastes good. So I always drink soda when I eat. I would do flavored water. I see these, what they're called, Circle. It's spelled Cirkul. It's like a flavor. It's like a water bottle with a flavored like capsule that goes into the thing. So, and apparently the flavors are pretty good. My friend James has it, loves it. So, Brody, I see this. You love soda too. Doc, maybe give it up. But yeah, you know what? It is. You're right, Brody. I was addicted to Pepsi. I was addicted to Pepsi. I was addicted to Arizona iced teas. I love Arizona iced teas. I love them. And who doesn't love an iced tea that costs 99 cents in an ice cold can and it tastes that good? Like, but again, I had to give it up because it's just too much. It's just too much. Gatorade was another thing. I drank a lot. I drank a lot of high sugar, drinks, and that was just bad for me. So I'm done with them. Gatorade power. Yeah, Pedialyte's actually a good solution. So yeah, that's actually a good call, Dylan. You're right on that. Pedialyte's good for it. Like I said, those circle things that I was talking about before, that's good. Crystal Light Pink Lemonade. I've done that. That's not bad. 2 Mountain Dew a day is just bad. I usually have a Red Bull if I'm feeling tired when we do the streams during the day on Wednesdays. But yeah, Dave, you hate Jack Daniels. You're Johnny Walker fan. Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Johnny Walker is good stuff. Blue Label is amazing. I love Jack Daniels though. They have Zach Jones on the taxi squad, Davey. They just did not play him because they felt that playing Libor Hayek gave them a better chance of winning. My thoughts. A column. Yeah, I was more of a Pepsi fan than Coca-Cola, though. I will say that. 1 cup of black coffee and water rest of the day. Still crave soda. Yeah, you know what, Brody? It's addicting. I was addicted to fast food, Brody. I was addicted to that stuff, and now I don't care for it. I had Taco Bell the first time because I got a gift card for Christmas. I had Taco Bell for the first time Sunday night in probably about like 7 months, and I didn't really care all that much for it. It was just a free meal. So, yeah. Hopefully you could kick that, David. We'd love to see you stop smoking. It'll add years onto your life. So hopefully you can kick that habit, man. We're all behind you here, buddy. But there's some other things. Kurt, yeah, this is what I was looking for. Since it's the prospect, yeah. There, like I said before, yeah, we will be talking World Juniors. So we'll definitely talk World Juniors, Kurt. So, but yeah, I don't know. I know I sound like I'm in a bummer type of mood right now. Yeah, I am. This is what happens when they lose. You know me. I don't take their losses well. Not going to win every game. I get it, but they just piss me off sometimes. Piss me off. David, McDonald's is the worst. Lady doesn't like it, so I stopped eating it. And then I ate there a few weeks. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah. C4 is I use Ghost Legend for pre-workout. That's probably the best one I've used. I've used C4 in the past. C4 is a bit of a pain in the neck, but oh wow, Davey, wow, good for you. You lost it, I should say, but Yeah, I'm a foodie too, Davey, and that's the biggest problem with me. Like after this, I'm probably gonna snack a bit. I'm probably gonna go till 11 o'clock. By the way, guys, it's just I don't know. There's just not a whole lot going on right now. And Kurt, you're right. We definitely got spoiled with their hot start. So David moved to a vape. Yeah, you know what? Good, David. I mean, hopefully you can cut the vape out, but good that you've at least tried to. That you're not smoking whole cigarettes anymore, Brody. Yeah. Um, you're right about it. About Igor. Igor really saved them early on. This just was not a good game from him. I get it. It was his first game back in a while because of the injury, but he was definitely off. Definitely off. So hopefully he comes back with a strong game on Friday if they play him Friday. I just wonder if they play Georgiev just because Georgiev was playing great. I don't know. So, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm with Brody on this. Best of luck, David. You know, good luck for you, man. You know, we're all, like I said before, we're all behind you, dude. Try to kick the smoking habits and the eating and stuff like that. I mean, I can give pointers here and there. I can tell you right now, just from my personal experience, it's tough. It can't just be a diet. It's got to be a lifestyle. You got to make it a lifestyle. But the one thing that I will say in my experience, the way that I am with it is that once I get into it, I immerse myself. And it becomes easier as time goes along for me. It may not be that way for everybody. And listen, you can cheat a little bit. You got to cheat here and there. And I kind of moderate when I cheat, but you got to throw in cheats here and there and keep your sanity. And honestly, I think the good part about the cheats is that when you have those types of foods, it makes you realize that you really don't like them all that much anymore, and that you need to, and it becomes like less that you need to cheat. The one thing I will say is desserts, though. Desserts are tough for me because I could go back to desserts. I mean, there's a homemade ice cream place not too far from here. It's like a mom and pop ice cream shop, a little restaurant. It's called Krish's, and they make homemade whipped cream, and just oh man, it's so good, so good. So really good. And yeah, Davey, I don't know why David Quinn's the USA coach. I think he's an awful coach. I really don't think he's good. But then again, these might be guys that are more in his range to be able to coach. So, Kurt, yeah, it's tough cutting that stuff out. Totally right about that. Yeah, David, honestly, this is kind of correct in a way. Like you just when you get into it and you do it for a little bit, it kind of becomes easier. So, um, I don't know if you guys remember our Ray Ferraro interview, but Ray Ferraro was asked by Al Arbor just to match Ron Francis and just go even with Ron Francis for one shift. And then when he got back to the bench and he was about to go out again, Al Arbor asked if he could do it again. And then the next shift came around and he asked him again. That's what this is like. This is basically that right there. Can you do it for a day? Okay. Can you do it for another day? Okay. Now it's a week. Can you do it for another week? It's 2 weeks. Can you do it for a month? And then you start to realize and start to believe, hey, I can do this. And that's part of it. That's a big part of it. And Sean, you're right. You feel so much better eating healthier foods. You really do. And yeah, you guys with the ice cream, Lou and Brody. Yeah, ice cream's rough. So David, the lady told me I can't quit sugar and smoking. You'd be intolerable. I understand. I understand. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about a lady. So thankfully, I'm not intolerable. Gerald, welcome back. Yeah, we were all full 5-on-5. I didn't think they were really that good. And yeah, Kurt, it was great. And it just, the minute that David made that post about doing it for 2 weeks and it becoming a routine, that was the first thing I thought of. It was that Ray Ferraro bit when I asked him about that Islanders, that Penguin series in '93. Like, for him to come out and say that he was literally asked that one time, and then Al Arbor just kept asking him before each shift, can he do it? Can he do it? Can he do it? Ray Ferraro believed, and he did. And that's part of why they won that series against Pittsburgh. So, David, you could do it for a day. You could do it for a week, which could turn into 2, which could turn into a month, which can turn into months, which could turn into year, which could turn into years. You can do it. If I can do it, you can too. And I know I sound like a corny motivational speaker when I say that, but trust me, go back and look at the old videos of me. I looked like I had a triple chin. I didn't look like I had a neck. Even Kurt said it before. I look like 5 years younger. So, but no, Dylan. Right now I'm streaming, so I'm not really watching anything on TV. So I'll try to get around and watch it at some point, though. James, hey, what's going on, man? Definitely tough loss. Yeah. I would definitely want more from them going forward. Friday, I will definitely try to be a little more optimistic for Friday, but I don't know how I feel about that, especially after tonight's game. So, oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that came up because I was really excited. I'm a huge Ray Ferraro fan. Huge fan of Ray's. So, for me, I liked him as a player. I loved him as a Ranger. I wish they would have had him stay. I thought he was great with Kovalov. If anything, as I really became to really, really, really be a big fan of his when he was with ESPN doing hockey with like NHL Tonight and with like Melrose and Butcher Gross. I loved him there, and then it just carried over, and I've loved his work with TSN. So I'm glad that he's back with ESPN too. So yeah, the days that you don't want to go work out, just go anyway. You go anyway. That's another thing. That's probably one of the harder things is to sometimes go when you just don't have it. So I'm not sure. There's not going to be a lot of options outside of like college players, maybe some free agents, but so. Yeah, so if it's at 12, then I'll probably record it. I still got to watch AEW tonight, so I'll be watching that. Hey, definitely have a good night, Brody. Appreciate you coming on, and definitely hope to have you on tomorrow afternoon with us. So thank you. Got about 5 more minutes, so everybody get your questions in. I know this is a short one, but not a whole lot to talk about with this game, so I figure we make it short. Plus, we got the prospect episode for tomorrow. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So Panarin only had 2 points. Okay, so Kakko got the assist on the Kreider goal. All right, Lou. Take care. Have a good night. Yeah, see you tomorrow, Lou. I'm trying to. Yeah, Gerald, I agree with you. The first goal and the third goal were bad because the first goal was a direct kick-out rebound to the slot. You can't do that. And then the third one, it was just that was a bad shot. Yes, it is, David. It is. WWE is just awful now. It's unwatchable on the main card. And NXT, they're developmental or quote unquote developmental. Yeah, they killed it with the rebrand, and it's not nearly as good now. And now I just don't watch WWE at all. I have no desire to watch WWE anymore. I watch AEW and I watch New Japan, David. So those are the two best wrestling promotions I can tell you to watch right now. Michael, yeah, Brett Berhard's definitely going to be up there. He was noticeable for them at the World Juniors, so he will definitely be someone we'll be talking about. I think he's got a very, very bright future in the NHL. I think he's going to be better than some people expect. So we will definitely be talking about Brett Berhard tomorrow. Obviously, Brendan Hoffman, Will Cooley, Dylan Garand, Lori Painiemi will come up. We'll be talking about his play. We'll be talking about Zach Jones, obviously. We'll be talking about Matthew Robertson, Braden Schneider. And yes, David, it is all scripted now. That's the problem. The promos are scripted in WWE. There's that element in AEW where they're not unscripted. If you want to watch great promos in AEW, David, watch CM Punk and MJF's promo battle. It's legendary. That good. Trust me when I say that. So, Davey, thank you very much for the kind words. Appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for the Prospect Talk. So, again, 2 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Time, Prospect Talk. Going over all the Rangers prospects, some World Juniors as well. Got a lot to talk about there, especially with the cancellation. So, Dylan, we're wrapping it up shortly, but thank you for coming on. Glad you're able to get this in. So, definitely enjoy the rest of your vacation. Hopefully, we'll see you this weekend for some hockey. Gerald, yeah, definitely. Let's go Rangers. Yeah, the poor man's Miz one wasn't. That's not even like the best promo battle. There's one that even goes on even further than that. So, but you know what? I think I'm just gonna wrap it up now. Not even gonna bother to wait the 2 minutes. A lot of you guys are leaving out. Thank you all for joining me for this. I'll get back to doing these more now that we're back on with hockey. I love doing these. So, again, remember, if you can, just like, share, and subscribe. Liking helps get the videos more noticed on YouTube, helps grow the channel. Looking to get to 3,000 subscribers. So that's our next goal. And, we'll be doing more content, more giveaways and stuff like that. Oh, and January 6th, meet up at Boss Croker's. So we will have more information on that. If you guys are not a part of the Facebook group already, join Big Apple Hockey on Facebook. So this way we can give you more updates about the meetups and stuff like that. Alrighty, but everybody, I know it's a disappointing game, but got to keep the faith that we come back out strong Friday. Hopefully it's the good. Yeah, I wonder who works there too. Who could that be? So, yeah, but again, thank you very much, Kurt. Appreciate that. And then, again, Boss Croker's, January 6th for the meetup. We will post more information. Maybe we'll even have Mark do a video for that, short video. So, and definitely just remember, everybody, like, share, and subscribe if you can, please. Helps grow the channel. To all, have a good night, and let's go Rangers.